Hello everyone, I'm Taylor Bambico. For today's video, I'll be discussing the CZ P10F. Now, of course, before I go any further, I'll make sure this firearm is clear. We're good. Empty. Let's continue, shall we? So a while ago, I was looking around at full-size 9mm again, and I was thinking, should I get another Glock 17 just to accompany the Glock P80 I have and the 17L? I'm like, why? Let's do something different. So I was looking around, I'm thinking, should I do the Sig Sauer P320 because I did like the P365? And I'm like, nah, I want to do a little bit more research on the 320. The HK VP9 came to mind. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll go with that. So I was looking at one, I was handling that, and I liked it. It's just at the price tag, and of course the price of magazines for H&K. Don't get me wrong, I love H&K pistols. That's why I have the USP. But for some reason, I forgot about CZ making striker fire pistols. The store I was at had this, and I'm like, let's take a look at that real quick. I handled it. They also had the P10C, and they were saying, okay, well, the P10C is similar to the Glock 19, which I didn't really want. I had the Gen 5 19, which was good, but it was a Glock. Whereas the P10F is more along the lines of the Model 17, which I'm more of a fan of. Handling this, I liked it. I also like the fact that the capacity is 19 rounds. I am familiar with the Model 75. I have two, the regular 75B and the 75B Retro, which is amazing that the Model 75 video did get as many views as it did. I did not expect that. Anyway, I was looking this over and I'm like, let's go with CZ. And I must say, I was actually impressed with this firearm. I'll be honest, I didn't have high expectations for the firearm. It's not because I figured the gun was poorly made, that's far from it. I just had no knowledge of the striker fire pistols by CZ. I was not really interested in them. I just liked the regular 75. And I'm like, okay, let's try it. I only had a few issues with it. One of them, of course, was operator error. My thumb was riding the slide catch, so on the last round, it would not lock open. The other issue I had, which happened on the second of two separate range trips, I had some failure to extracts. That first one was on round 498. How do I know that exactly? Because the first range trip I only put, believe it or not, 400 rounds through it. Second time I said, okay, let's start it up. On the second to last round, it had that malfunction, as you clearly see. Honestly, I think that was just my issue. I think I was riding the slide catch and it just caused a malfunction. Even though it did happen a couple of times, I think it was just me. Now, usually with handguns, with the exception of 1911s, I only run about 500 rounds through them before I do a thorough cleaning of them, just to break them in. In this situation, I put 1,000 rounds through it, and I was surprised that these malfunctions occurred. And now, because of that situation, I've decided to change it from 500 round minimum to 1,000 round minimum through a firearm, just to see if it occurs in other firearms as well. Now on the 1911 platform, I shoot a minimum 1,000 rounds through it before I declare it broken in. So from this point forward, for me anyway, I'll shoot a minimum 1,000 rounds through any semi-automatic handgun that ends up in my collection. I'll even apply that to a used firearm as well. One thing that did occur, I don't remember when I was looking down the sights, I'm sure it was there, is the white dot in the front sight has since disappeared. I'm sure it was there when I bought it. It's just, maybe it got too hot, I don't know. I'm gonna replace the sights anyway, but it's like, oh, that's interesting. That was a first for me. I will also add that this and the Model 75 are probably my two most favorite firearms to shoot, and also the guns I can shoot the best. And of course, that's for the obvious reason that it is a full-size firearm, it has a longer sight radius, just making it an easier gun to actually shoot with. Don't get me wrong, I like the P365, however, I don't see myself ever doing a 600 or 700 round range trip with it anytime soon. Of course, if someone wants to foot the bill for ammo and I'm there all day, maybe I will. Anyway, that was just going to be a bit of a rant video on the P10F. If you enjoyed it, remember to subscribe if you haven't already. Click that bell icon so you're notified when I upload new content. Leave any comments you have in the section below, and have a good day. See ya!